Crazy.
Welcome back, everyone, to It's Cool Us Too. We are your hosts, Nicole and Meg. I'm Meg. That's Nicole.
Hi.
Hi.
There's some weird vibes happening today.
I'm in a weird mood. I'm in a real weird mood. I've had sort of an odd few hours. Oh, God. First of all, you know what? I'm going to call this person out. I won't use his horrible screen name, but this man on TikTok called me out for my neck looking gross or whatever. I don't know exactly what he meant by it, but he was like,
He didn't say your neck looked gross.
He said, I can't stop looking at your neck, or like, I always look at the neck or something. And
it was unnecessary.
It's something that I'm deeply insecure about, but my setup, like Nicole's neck always looks like so tight.
Yeah, cool. My computer's raised.
And
Jeez, I literally did this, Megan. Like, if my computer was underneath my chin, we'd both be, and I still have a double chin half the time.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we deleted the comment, so no one can see it because we don't need that energy in our life.
Yeah, and I fully stand by the fact that we have every right to just like curate that experience for ourselves. And I don't need a man that's like what was his name or something, like Harry Mungus or something?
Yeah,
or
and his profile picture was just like a real close-up of his cat. So
yeah, I'm like, you're clearly a troll. You do not deserve any attention. Bye-bye. Like,
see ya.
He is unworthy.
So yeah, that was just the icing on the cake, but a few hours ago, I decided to...
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. I may have scurried back in time to a time where I was allowing a man to make me feel things. Anyways, I'm going to be close to where this man lives in a couple of months. So I was like, hey, exciting update. I'm going to be near you.
And like, for background, you'd been talking.
Oh yeah, we'd been talking. Sorry, yeah, that's important.
This isn't out of the blue.
It's not out of the blue. We've been like chatting away. And just radio silence. I was like, do you want to hang out when I'm there? It's been 5 hours. This man doesn't typically take very long to respond to me. So that was a kick in the teeth. And I was saying to Nicole, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, it's just one of those situations where I'm like, I knew this, but we all do it. I know, but it's making me feel a little shitty. So,
but hey, we learn a lesson and we move on.
We do.
And better you not know before getting more into it.
I know. I'm too much of a lover girl.
You are. We were just saying this.
Yeah, we
must turn your heart a little bit to ice. Not fully.
I know. I would love a little ice though. Like a little ice in my heart. That would be good.
Yeah. I would love a little more lover girl in me. I've gone a little too cold. The winter, I'm hoping I'm thawing out. Who knows?
Yeah, you should thaw out. I love that for you.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is fine though.
Yeah. It was a nice weekend together.
Yes, we were together, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. What did we do? We spent all of Saturday night eating pizza with collagen face masks on. I have a great photo of Nicole that I'm going to be putting in the newsletter. She's given me permission.
Burritoed.
She's given me permission. She's like in the really cozy section of my couch, fully wrapped up in a blanket with one of those masks that you're supposed to sleep in, but like they're just not comfortable. Can we just acknowledge, like, I don't want to sleep in that mask?
Well, no, if you're not a back sleeper, it's a non-starter.
They're like, it's all the ads are like, it's so easy. And I'm like, is it? Is it?
It's not.
No.
But do any ads ever tell the truth to women? Let's be honest.
No. But these masks are great. I like them.
Glowy skin.
Very glowy. So anyways, that's what we did on Saturday night. But before that, we had quite a few beers and wandered around Kensington Market.
Day drunk.
Got a little day drunk.
I got in your shower. I got home, was a little cold, and jumped in the shower and had a little wine shower.
She did.
Like wine in the shower.
I don't think anyone was confused, but thank you for clarifying. Oh, yeah. I always know Nicole's drunk when she does a high kick. You love a high kick when you're a little bit tipsy. But yeah, it was very 36-year-old. Like, we went out and did stuff during the day, had a few drinks, and then we were home, tucked into our burritos.
Yeah. We had a nice dinner the night before. You, me, Em, and Tree went to like a nice little French bistro that none of us had been to before.
Yeah.
And then to a wine bar in Ossington.
Yeah.
And dare I say, it was perfect.
It was really nice. It was really nice. What about you? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I didn't realize how burnt out I was. And I've really only realized it today because I had such big plans for my weekend and did nothing besides watch Downton Abbey. Like, I am full into Down. I'm almost done this series.
Question:
Meg.
Did you watch this the first time?
Never.
Oh my God.
It's super on brand for
I didn't know that you hadn't watched it. When you told me that, I was just like, it's a rewatch.
I've never seen it. This is brand new. It's a whole new experience for me.
That's exciting. It's really good.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah. Back when everyone...
You a period piece.
I know. Back when everyone watched it, like 47 years ago.
Okay. Rude. It was not 47 years ago. It was like it ended in 2015.
Okay,
10 years ago.
That's quite some time, Nicole.
Megan, enough. Anyways, I'm almost done, and I'm just like obsessed with it. That's what I did all weekend. I went for like a walk, and then I had a family dinner last night, which like my mom every Easter does an Easter egg hunt for us.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
And my sister wins every year. Last year, she demolished Jay and I.
She's very pregnant. She won?
Wait. My mom, first of all, normally it's like the little kind of like the tiny little eggs or whatever. She'll like hide places and stuff. So like last year, I think my sister got like 76 or something. I got 45. Like crazy. So it's not bad numbers by comparison.
Yeah.
But this year, my mom decided to upgrade. It was very bougie. We had Lindt chocolate. So like the Lindt chocolate balls everywhere.
Oh my God, yum.
And it was very close. It was all within like 2 or 3 like chocolates of each other. But meanwhile, she and I were running. My sister is she's due in July. Like she's pregnant. And she and I are running, trying like around the first floor of my mom's house. Jay is just going to the opposite end of the house where we're not looking and just moseying and walking and going at his own little leisurely pace. And yeah, she still won.
Oh,
so
well, she's probably needs the chocolate, you know, it's rough being pregnant. That's what I hear.
She's doing a great job being pregnant. It doesn't seem to be that brutal right now. Also, super upsetting for me. She's borrowing clothes from me. My normal clothes, her maternity clothes.
No. Yeah. She really is. She's such a tiny pregnant person. Like she is only carrying it in the belly. She's smaller
than me in general. She's like 2.5 inches shorter than I am.
Yeah.
And like her body's just different. Like,
yeah.
But it's not great for the ego when you're 6 months pregnant sister.
Like, hey sis, can I borrow some of your clothes for when I'm like, not even remotely the same size as
is exactly
normal?
What I needed to make myself feel better. And then in other news, my skin has been having a like absolute freak out for the last few weeks, and I haven't been able to figure out what was wrong with it. So I like had no makeup on this weekend. I've like been really into hypochlorous acid. I think that's how you say it.
I don't know what that is.
It'll be in the newsletter. It will be my buy of the month. Okay. I promise you that.
Okay.
And I've like soothed my skin down, and I basically took out all the things I thought might be irritating my skin. So I was pretty sure it was my makeup. And I think I found the culprit.
What is it?
I don't want to slander.
Okay, is it like a foundation or is it like...
No, it's a powder.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it's a new powder I've been trying. I know which one
you're talking about because I think you brought it on the weekend.
I did. And I think that's the issue I've been having. So I'm going to test it. We're going to go a few days without using it. We'll do my makeup, see what happens. Yeah. And then I'm going to reintroduce it and see what happens.
I mean, this is the most drama that I have in my life right now. So I'm here for this. Please keep us posted. Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, great. honestly been taking up a lot of my energy because I take a lot of pride in my skin and I spend a lot of money on it. And like, it was like, I had Orion's belt on my forehead last week. It was like,
oh my God.
Anyways, so that's been my big thing right now. I'm also super into like a side part. It was deeper before we got on. Then I was like, I think you can see a little bit too much of my forehead.
Nicole's calling it side part spring.
I am. I feel very comfortable to re-embrace my millennial side part. And
I saw something, gotta mention Tanks at least once. I saw something that she posted about.
She is my inspiration.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. We love a Tanks. Anyways, and then the only other thing that I really feel is like very much a thing right now is my just eternal love for Paige DeSorbo. I just watched a TikTok of her like showing her outfit and she was like, are the glasses too much? As she's going to ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange.
I saw that.
I would follow this woman into battle at this point. Like this, she is just magnificent. And I'm just such a huge Paige girl and like seeing how successful she is and the pod is. I can't wait for her to be on Watch What Happens Live tomorrow.
Oh, she's going on Watch What Happens Live?
Wow. For the first time post breakup.
Oh my God, that's big. Yeah, so hopefully everyone listening knows who Paige DeSorbo is, but she got famous from being on Summer House, but her and one of her co-stars, Hannah Berner, they're famous now in their own right. Like, Paige is still on the show.
They were just on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
They were on Good Morning America. They were on they're on a whole book tour right now. And I really do think I will be buying this book because actually I'm probably going to order it as soon as we're off tonight because I do think I need to take my life less seriously. You can tell I mean business when I start waving a pen around. It's a whole thing. But their whole book is meant to be like how to take life less seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems like
and honestly, that's what their whole vibe is. Like I remember
dose of medicine.
Yeah. I remember when we started the pod and we were like, do we want to be like Giggly Squad? Like, is that our vibe? And we had a few reference points for like two best friends who have their own podcast. And like, that is not our vibe. Like we kind of oscillate between being ridiculously silly and super deep.
We found a medium.
We found like our niche, but they're definitely an inspiration. Like honestly, when we were prepping for this episode, I was saying like, who are the people that we look at in the media who are best friends and like they seem to have a great friendship. And I think Paige and Hannah really seem to have a good friendship. And not because they're like always agreeing on things or because they're so similar, but like they just seem to like really give each other space to be who they are because they're quite different. And I've always said I'm more of a Hannah. I think I am.
Side note, there was a TikTok from Giggly Squad where they were talking about how someone told Hannah that she had nail biter energy, but she was like, I'm not a nail biter. That's one thing I pride myself on. I have way worse habits instead. I think I sent it to you.
Do I give nail biter energy?
Well, I just think that the jig is up at this point, Meg.
People know I mean, I don't know. Not everyone watching this knows I bite my fingers, but like.
You literally talked about it last week.
No, I know, but like
you went too deep.
I know, but if you, that was really gross actually. But my mental health is bad when I'm like, I'm gnawing holes in my fucking fingers. But do you think that if you met me, you would think I give nail biter energy? Because I actually don't think you would. Like if you hadn't seen my hands, I don't know that I do in like a new setting.
I don't know if I could answer that. Because I know you too well.
I think that you think I do and you don't want to say it. Let's leave this here. We don't want to get into another on-air fight.
Well, also it's just like very on brand for the two of us where it's like your mental health is like, you can tell that the state of it based on how you're biting your nails. For me, it's like my apartment. Like I'm a messy girl.
Yeah.
And spicy books. Smut.
I've been reading some spicy books.
You will have to send me some.
I will. They're probably not as spicy as yours.
That's okay. All I want to do as soon as we're off of this is have a shower, take off my makeup, and crawl into bed and get my Kindle out and read my book and have a tea and then go to bed.
I think I'm going to do that too. I need to get another book. Okay. Anyways, we should talk about our
yeah. So
what
people actually,
yeah, we should probably talk about the episode. No, okay. So I don't know if other people listening have or watching, because we're on YouTube now. I don't know if you guys have seen the stuff on TikTok about like what it means to be a girl's girl, but I kept seeing like there was a couple videos that we'll reference today that like they just kind of went viral, and it was about what being a girl's girl means in this day and age. And obviously we kind of want to talk about it through the lens of like what it means when you're in your 30s, because I do think it is different for me when I was in my 20s. I think I probably wanted more of like a hype girl and a supporter than I do now. I feel like I want that for sure. I want people to hype me up and make me feel good and remind me who I am. But I also want people to like correct me when I need to be corrected or point out situations when I need them to. Like classic is just before this when I was explaining the situation with this dude who will not be named. Nicole was like, Megan, can I give you some, how did you phrase it? You just said like, are you okay for me to give you my opinion? I think it was sort of like, and I knew what your opinion was going to be, but I was in a place where I was like, yeah, I want to hear it and you should tell me. And we need friends like that. We do. Like, we need friends who are going to be like, you kind of messed that one up. Or like, okay, but like, have you looked at it from this perspective? And there's many other things that go into this, but we just wanted to have a conversation about like, yeah, what does it mean to be a good friend right now? And what does it mean to be a girl's girl?
Yeah, and I think like going back to Paige, because I'm obsessed with her. That sounded really creepy the way that I said that. Anyways, back to Paige. I think that she's such a good example of a of a girl's girl, like beyond her friendship with Hannah and like that relationship, but also in like her relationship and friendship with Amanda and how she like shows up and has tough conversations with her and how she's been having more tough conversations and being all like vulnerable and like laying out things with Sierra this season about like her own life and her own relationships and things like that. And I just think like there's so many good examples in the world, but there's so many good examples of girls who are masquerading as girls and like aren't at the end of the day. And maybe it's to some extent the fact that now I'm older, exactly what you said, what I was looking for in a girl's girl in my 20s versus now, it's drastically different.
Yeah, I think there is something to that, because I think it's interesting to think about like, what do you gain from knowing yourself more? That you're willing to kind of not tolerate, but like accept in a friendship. Like, I don't know. I think I was a lot more fragile in my 20s. Like, I don't know that I would have been in a place. And I think we've also gotten better, not just you and I, but just in general. We all get better at communicating and having harder conversations because we have to do more of it now. But I think in my 20s, probably wouldn't have known how to have harder conversations in like a productive way, and B, known how to like receive some of the tough love.
That's the key.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think that, and again, well, put to the side a little bit friendships I've made in my 30s, and there are exceptions to this rule, but a lot of the friendships that I still have to this day are friends that I've had since I was in high school or 18 when I was at university. And so we've had runway, we've had time to grow into our friendship and go through seasons and build a really, really, really strong foundation that just like, it's almost like, you know, rings of a tree, right? It's like each year that passes that you're friends with someone, you build a ring and, you know, you keep growing and growing and growing. And there's just more surface area that I feel like at this point I'm willing to cover that feels a little bit more deep and feels a little bit more sturdy and feels a little bit more like less just like surface.
Yeah, this actually, the point you're making is like about the friends you've made in your 30s versus the ones that you've had for a long time. Do you think that you have different expectations for friends that you've made recently, but you would still call like, your people and like girls to you? Do you have different sort of expectations for people that are newer friends versus those that you've had for a longer time?
Some, yes, but there are expectations to that rule. And I think part of the
Exceptions, you
reason
mean?
why yeah, like, I think like, I don't, am I having a seizure or a stroke? Like, I think that there are some of the friends that I've made in my 30s, I don't have high expectations for
Okay.
because they don't feel like, at present, they're seasonal friends until proven otherwise. Now, there are people that I have met in my 30s that are exceptions to that.
Yeah.
That you met and it's just like instantly you're kindred spirits. You are at the same point. You can kind of go deep, have those conversations, you show up for each other. Um, but that's not the norm. And I
Mm,
think that the reason I'm able to have that quickly with people I've met in this decade is because I have foundations and reference points for what friendship should be at this point in
mm.
my life and what I care about and what I don't like in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think it kind of speaks to this idea I was thinking about when I was listening to some TikToks before this of like, I don't expect all the same things from my friends. And I don't even mean in the same ways, like, look, we've talked about friends who are moms and, might just have less time. I'm even just thinking about friends who sort of serve different purposes for me, and I serve different purposes for them, maybe. And that could be because we are like geographically further away. That could mean we're in different stages of our lives. That could also just be in like what we're interested in and kind of like what we do together. But I think I don't necessarily expect all of the same things from all of the same people that I would call like my best friends or people that I think like have my back. Because I was also thinking like, what does a girl's girl even mean? And I think it's like being your ally in life. Like it's this idea of like you're on the you're on the side of women, I guess. I don't know exactly how you would phrase it.
I think it's just like this unshakable desire for each of you to win
Yeah.
and each of you to succeed and each of you to have good things and want good things for each other. And I think if you were to drill down all of your friendships that you would consider like your close friends, even if you want different things from them, you have different expectations for them, at their base, that thread is the exact same.
Yeah.
How you
Yes.
get it is different, how you expect it from them is different. But I truly think like once you're a girl's girl, the people you let into your orbit there,
Yeah.
it's all kind of on the same note.
Yeah. And I think there's like an element too of like safety, right? Like I don't
Totally.
have, I mean, I
To varying
already,
degrees.
pardon?
To varying degrees.
Yeah, that's true. It's not all the same, but I think there's a baseline level of like, I feel safe with this person that I need in order to call them like a really close friend or think that they're like in it with me and that they're like
Totally.
rooting for me.
And what you might need from someone to feel that safety is going to be super different from what you might need from the next person.
Yeah. I think that all comes back to, I don't know, I think I wrote down like expanding my frame of reference, just sort of tangentially related. But when I think about like what a girl's girl is, it's like recognizing that I want different things than they do. And then being excited about that predominantly. I mean, I think we'd be fucking lying if we said that if I watch my friend who's decided to travel South America for 6 months, I'd be lying if I said it didn't cross my mind. Like, should I be doing that? Is that what I should be like? Am I doing the right stuff in my life? But then at the end of the day, it's my job to internalize that and make sure that I'm internalize that in a positive way and make sure that I'm showing up for her by like celebrating that for her and not making it about myself. Whereas I think in my 20s, being a girl's girl was like more about validating each other for like the choices that we were making and feeling like we had to be making the same choices. At least that was my reality.
Which, like, doesn't that evolution just make you so excited for your female friendships in your 40s and 50s and 60s and beyond?
Yeah.
Like, I think they just get richer.
I hope so.
I think that especially those friends that I've had for a really long time, the fact that they can call me on my shit too is super important. Like I was saying to Meg on the weekend, I was like, I went to coffee with one of my girlfriends and we had a really good catch up and it was so nice. And she makes such an effort to see me and like get me out of the house and do things with me, which I appreciate. And she kind of gave me some tough love and a little bit of a dose of a kick in the ass as it relates to my dating life. Because she's like, you want all of these things and you're doing nothing to achieve them, which doesn't make sense to her, considering how high achieving in so many other areas, and like goal oriented and like that I am. She's like, you're literally doing nothing to, you know, get this. And she's like, if you don't want those things, that's fair.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything wrong. But if you want these things, you have to put yourself out there and you have to try and you have to, you know. And she's like, I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not saying it's not a challenging time. But it was kind of a good kick in the tush.
Yeah. And those conversations are uncomfortable sometimes. I don't know how it felt for you in the moment, but like sometimes they're really hard to receive. Like it's not to say that every conversation you're having with like a quote unquote girl's girl is like, I feel so amazing coming out of that conversation.
No.
Like sometimes it's like not fun to hear, but you need to hear it and you need those people in your life to like keep you in check.
And I think there's a difference. There's such a nuance here because she delivered that conversation to me and that message. And it was very evident to me. It was coming from a place of love for me.
Yeah.
It was coming with care and not with a blame and not with a like, I wasn't getting like scolded. It really was coming from a place of kindness and love, even though it was a tough conversation. But I can also see there's certain people in my life who may have delivered the same conversation. They said the exact same thing to me. And I guarantee you it wouldn't have come from that same place of care and love and all of that. So I think it's equal parts someone truly and actively showing up for you and caring for you and demonstrating through proof time and again kind of their care and support for you, but also in the way they're delivering it and how you have, you know, certain relationships. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. And actually I was gonna say like, what does that proof look like? Because I'm curious how you sort of what your version of that is in terms of like the building blocks of building up the like belief that someone has that level of like care for you and that, you know, you're safe in that situation.
So with this friend in particular, I'll just say it's my friend Kasha, and she has, since I've moved home, gone out of her way to make sure that she shows up for me. Last year when I got promoted, she made me a little cake to celebrate my promotion. When I moved into my apartment, she was pregnant and she was over here helping me assemble furniture. She would be like, she was pregnant again, like, and like things would lift and she would make an effort to show up in my life. So that's kind of like foundational proof. But I've also think I've been pretty honest on here with my struggles with my own mental health over the last few years. And I have gone to Kasha a few times where there's been maybe conflict and things that have blown in my head. And I've had conversations with her and she's received it in a really loving way. That has allowed me to feel safe opening up to her and having those conversations. And this isn't the first time she's given me this conversation either. She did this about maybe May last year to me. But in like those harder moments, in those times where I've struggled, while she may not always understand it, she's always allowed me the space to express it to her.
Mm.
And that's not to say my other friends haven't, because they absolutely have. And
Yeah.
all of those relationships are so different. But because we're talking about what just happened this past weekend, like I have memories over the, last 5 years of going to Kash's house, sitting in the backyard, and just like sobbing with her on certain things.
Yeah.
And her like letting me kind of talk through things. And that there's been enough evidence for me in that I feel safe opening up in that environment.
And I think that that's the beauty of like being able to see a true sort of girl's girl for you in those moments, or like a true friend in those moments. And I think that like it's one of the reasons that it can be harder to make friends in your 30s, because you don't have that like that forcing mechanism or that proof.
Yeah.
Like I have a new like really close friend, and we don't have much conflict, but recently she's just been super busy, and she sort of like, it was the first time she checked in and was like, am I being a good friend to you right now? Like, am I like giving you like what you need?
Question.
And I was like, yeah, you're good. Like, don't worry. Like I get it. You're really busy. Like you've just got a lot on. And it was like one of those like moments where we both sort of validated each other, which I don't know that we've had a lot of. And it's like weird. It's like those little blips are the things that ultimately do sort of strengthen. I'm just trying to think about it. I don't think I have very many friends who I haven't had conflict with. Like, I think it's like a good thing at our age to have had conflict with someone and know how to get through it.
Yeah. Because let me tell you, having conflict with someone and then after like years of a friendship where you've never really had it, jarring. Like,
it's jarring.
We're proof of that.
Okay, but on the topic of effort though, so like effort, going over to someone's house, doing the things that are hard and sometimes like not super fun, like helping someone move into an apartment. So there's this one TikTok I came across, and she's actually like quite a famous TikToker. I think Kat Stickler. I think she dated Jason
Tardik.
Yes. Yeah. But it got like tons of love. Like this got almost 1 million likes. And it was her sort of saying like the friendships that she likes the most in her life. And I'm paraphrasing here, but the friendships that she appreciates the most are the ones that like, she kind of starts by saying like the ones who just don't care, like if you can't make plans work, that's all good. Like if you can't put in the effort, like that's fine. And I think there's elements to what she's saying where she's kind of being like sarcastic, but the general gist, at least in the way I perceived the general gist, is like she appreciates friends you don't have to try very hard with. Like it's more when you see them, that's great, they fill your cup up, but if you don't see them for 8 months, that's all good, you're both busy. And I don't know, that's a really tough one for me. I think there's definitely two schools of thought on this. Like some people are like, if you're flaky, they just can't handle that. Or like if you can't commit to plans. And then some people do kind of love when like, there's all those memes that are like, I'm so happy when people cancel plans because I don't want to go out anyways. So I don't know. I just find that whole conversation really interesting. And I wondered, what do you think about it?
I think there's a layer of what she was trying to say that she missed in her argument.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, when I was listening to her TikTok, it was basically as if like there was no substance to the friendship. We just sit there and not talk. I don't see you for 8 months. You want to cancel? I don't care.
Right.
That doesn't align with like my values and what I'm looking for and like my love language as a friend. And I think that while I can appreciate at this age having grace for my friends and understanding and, altering expectations depending on what each of us is going through, I need some.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's a quick text to let me know that you're thinking of me, or a quick, like, you're running to the grocery store, you've got 10 minutes while you're in the car and you just want to give me a quick call.
Yeah.
To just check in and hear my voice. There's just maybe some of that missing from what she was saying. And maybe it was implied with what she was saying, but what she was just, if I take what she said at face value, is not enough for me.
Yeah. It made me feel a bit icky. I was like,
yeah, I didn't like it either.
I don't like how this makes me feel.
But I value my friendship so much. Like, you and I have the kind of relationship where we can either sit across from each other and have like deep chats and, you know, really connect and all of those things. But then we can also just have like rot time.
Yeah.
And we're just beside each other. And it's quality time together in that way. But that by itself does not filleth up my cup.
No, I agree. Also, what's funny is when Nicole and I actually spend time together, we don't have any deep conversations normally because we have so many on the pod.
So many deep conversations on this. Unless we go out for like several food or drinks. Like go out to drinks or something. Like that one time we got day drunk accidentally in Toronto. We had some deep chats that day.
We did.
I do blame the
They've
gimlets.
been lost to the gimlets, but yeah, we had a lot of
to the gimlets.
deep chats.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like at this point in my life, I'm almost even past the idea of a girl's girl. Because either you're with me or you're not as my friend.
Yeah.
And the friends that I have, I feel like my bullshit meter with men, often broken. Can't always trust it.
Yeah.
Radar, picker, not the best. My radar with my friends, I feel like I've perfected.
Yeah.
And my friendships at this age, what maybe in my 20s I would have called, being a girl's girl, or like, they're just friendships that are nourishing at this point and safe. And
I think girl's girl also like makes me think about Love Island. Or like, like a show where they're like, she's just not a girl's girl. Like, she's just like not like, I'm looking sorry, out but you're in a villa
where you're literally here to meet love. You're not actually meant to. But I think that's like, so maybe this is a good place to round out the episode. What are the characteristics of a girl's girl to you?
I think like openness and acceptance of sort of who you are. I think reciprocity. So being very like, and I don't mean like immediately, I mean like over time. Like, it's sort of in the same way that we've talked about with the pod, like the workload being different, like this idea that like you can kind of prove out that the effort is going to be there. I think being a girl's girl, and this isn't really even being a girl's girl, this is just like what I'm looking for in my friendships at this age is sort of, I think I wrote expanding my frame of reference, but like I love interesting people and like people who think differently, who are like doing their life differently. But at the core, I guess it's acceptance and I'm looking for fun, frankly.
Totally. And I think,
What about you?
All great answers. I think a girl's girl, like back in the day, was someone who would, like you said, hype you up and all that stuff. And, maybe help you, like wing woman you to like a guy or something and help you with like your homework or something. But now a girl's girl to me is someone who speaks positively about me in rooms that I'm not in. Yeah. Someone who hypes me up and puts me forward for opportunities when I'm not present to do so. Someone who goes out of their way to make sure that I am not going to look foolish. And whether that is giving me information really about something that maybe I wouldn't be aware of, or even something as silly as like making sure I'm not walking out of the bathroom with toilet paper on my shoe.
Yeah.
Someone who's going to tell me I've got broccoli in my teeth, or someone even better who's going to, when we're out, because I don't have a radar for these things, be like, Nicole, that guy over there is checking you out.
Yeah.
Someone who's looking for opportunities for me that I may be blind to at that time. Because ultimately, all they want at the end of the day is to see me happy and see me succeed and for good things to come my way. That is a girl's girl, and there are so many layers to that. And like micro ways you can do it all the way up to really, really big ones. And I think the biggest one, especially in my 30s, is women who are not afraid to celebrate me when it may be something that they want and can't have right now, or it's something completely different than they're going through. And I think being able to put aside the same way that I acted, like, I desperately want to be a mom, but I pride myself on being able right now to show up for people in my life, my sister included, mainly because I just gonna be like my little baby. But like being able to put my feelings aside, honor them and still appreciate them, but still be like excited for them in my bones. Yeah. Because I'm so excited and want them to be happy too. And that's a muscle that comes with like years of training and honing in a lot of ways. That's what being a girl's girl means to me.
Wow, that was really well said.
Thanks. I've got some weird energy right now. And
you're very awake right now. You're very alive. You're very in the pocket, as we would say.
I was saying to Meg before we got on, I'm feeling very pinky of the brain. And pinky in the brain, I just want to like, I have all this energy and like, like, you know, like on Unlimited when he has like a million thoughts from going through it. I feel like that's me and I just need to like target it, but I can't like harness it into anything. First, I just harnessed it for this conversation and now it's loose again.
Oh, well, we hope you like this one. We will share some of the links to the creators in the show notes because a lot of people contributed to the thoughts that went into this. But we'll see you guys next week.
Yes. Bye. We love you.
We love you.